So as I was watching the Bad Batch, I could not help but think perhaps what they should have done is made a Bounty Hunters series this week.
Yeah, Tales of the Bounty Hunter, like some of the old books.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we were introduced to so many bounty hunters during the Clone Wars, and you actually could have kept the Bad Batch in this series and just made them bounty hunters instead of these weird like babes in the woods who don't know how to lace their own boots.
So if your show, if you're the titular characters of your show are not in an episode, and that episode is the best one that you've had, or one of the best ones you've had after what 9 or 10 episodes.
This is episode 9.
Yeah, that's a problem.
This was my favorite episode of the series so far. I actually really liked this episode. I liked. I mean, I love Cad Bane. I love Cad Bane. My big concern about Cad Bane is why did his hat get so small? I know I said this last week, but like I'm like legitimately concerned about what happened to his hat. I spent like way too much time. Like I started to look up why was Cad Bane's hat so small, and I was like, that's just taking it a step too far.
Well, one of the first comments that last week that one of the Blind Wave guys said was like his hat's smaller.
Yeah, it's like, well, because before he had like a Kentucky Derby style hat, and now he's got like I'm just going out to do some gardening in the afternoon size hat.
Yeah. And he like, I love that. I don't know who voices him, but I love just the tone and the tempo of his voice and how he talks, and I just love that character. And Ming Na as Fennec Shand.
Oh yeah,
like their battles, their fight. I think it went like 3 or 4 different rounds.
Yeah,
I really liked how they told the story through that, like
through the fight.
Yeah.
So
she won this round. He won this round. He won this round. Then she won. Yeah.
It's Corey Burton who does, and he did it during the Clone Wars as well. But yeah, because it's that great like robe body, because he's got the breathing tubes there, because he's he's from Duros, or he's a Duros. I guess that's a species. He's from Duro. Yeah, no, but you're right. The rounds, I think the cool move was when he threw the grenade at her and she like straight up like soccer kicked it back at him. And he did not break his spine.
Oh, yeah.
So, Todo 360 was great.
Oh yeah, he was good.
And
Omega was great.
That was Seth Green, if you were curious.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
didn't know that.
I think he did it during the Clone Wars too. I don't remember, but I mean that's the kind of voice like Seth Green should do, 100%. But no, Omega was was great. We were talking before we started. Well, okay, first off, we learned that she is like Boba. She's an unmodified replication of Jango Fett. And that's why they have the bounty out on her, which I think we pretty much all suspected.
Right.
I know there was some thought too that she was another of the Bad Batch type of clones. But this makes more sense and it makes it more interesting. Lama Su being a bad guy was not. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a surprise, but at the same time, it's like, okay, like you just want you're very short sighted. So that was interesting. Taun We, Taun We was in Attack of the Clones. So I mean, just like Lama Su was, but Taun We was the one that Boba talked about in episode 2. So that was sad to see what happened to Taun We happen.
Rip.
Yeah, rip. But Nala Se is an interesting character as well, and it'll be interesting to see more of that power dynamic on Kamino, hopefully in the second half of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like honestly, just with the clones themselves, I love the idea of just their variant personalities, but I don't know if it's just that the storytelling sticks when they're on screen. And it's as if the writers don't know what to do with them.
I think the writers keep falling back on the trope or the like. Okay, Wrecker is the funny meathead, Hunter's the dad, Tech and Echo are the same character. They should have turned Tech bad instead of Crosshair.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, honestly,
Yeah,
you could kill Tech or Echo and it would not change anything with the show.
no, it wouldn't. No.
And honestly, I say kill Tech and leave Echo because we've had Echo longer and we just got him back. So, of course, that would make his death a little more, even more, sad. But yeah, I don't know. I thought this was a pretty good episode, and I think they did a good job staving off the Omegas and Mary Sue arguments again. Because
I just don't.
Sorry, go ahead.
I just don't see people who are making that argument are actually watching the show.
I mean, we all have our biases towards things, right?
And, oh yeah, absolutely.
And I think in the Force Rey was a Mary Sue. I think as a fighter, Rey absolutely was not.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could argue, like in the Force, Leia might have been a bit of a Mary Sue because we didn't get to see a whole lot of her training, and we know she walked away before she finished.
She completed her training.
Yeah, she's still Mary Poppins.
I mean, she was more space. Mary Poppins. Yeah.
she was more Yondu Adonta.
Yeah, she was Mary Poppins, y'all.
No, I liked how they were like, oh yeah, this is Bora Vio. This is a retired cloning station. So of course she's going to know how to work everything there because she spent the first 9, 10, 11 years, however old she is, of her life with that technology. Do you think that was a Snoke clone that landed on Fennec?
That was a weird, it looks familiar in some way to me. I don't know if it was from another property I was thinking of or if it was Star Wars. I don't know if that would be a little bit too on the nose. And again, we've got a lot of fan service already in this show.
Oh yeah, we do, don't we? What would have been really cool, and it could have just been totally throwaway, but a mutated version of Anakin in one of those things. Like, Sidious was trying to have them like clone Anakin and they just couldn't do it with his M count made it impossible. His metachlorians.
Yeah.
So anyway, but no, I like this episode. It was full of action. It was the first one that actually, last week had action. Let me rephrase that. It had a bunch of action. It was still super self-contained, which was nice. Let me rephrase that. I wish Cad Bane would have kept her in gotten off Bora Vio with Omega in hand, so that we could have got like a Bad Batch rescue mission instead of the Bad Batch, randomly showing up to rescue the pod that ran out of fuel.
Yeah. And that was probably my biggest gripe with this episode is that it did not give you enough time in that regard. And again, that goes back to the whole issue we're having with the story about these clones who are supposed to be, they're supposed to be these great fighters. They're supposed to be, unique in their way of thinking. They're supposed to be the heroes of this show, and they don't come across that way at all. And if you would have done that, if you would have had them find a way to rescue Omega from Cad Bane next episode, say he got away, that could have redeemed, I won't say total failure, but redeemed just the inability of this story to pose these clones or to pose the Bad Batch as they should be.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair and that's right. All right, so I don't think we need to go too deep into this. It's honestly, watching this show is turning into a bit of a chore. So
Yeah, we got only 6-7 episodes left.
yeah, something like that. So yeah, okay. So out of 5 broken clone containers, what do you give this?
I was debating on. I'll keep it as a 3. Again, I really love the Fennec Cad Bane storyline that we got, but it continues when we would go back to the clones, and it's like a lot of this. It continues to stick.
Yeah.
This like it sticks in the mud,
Yeah.
and I again love Omega. I really like what we got from her,
Yeah.
and like you said, we kind of knew this. It's not a surprise, but it is out in the open now.
Yeah, it's
so
cool. It's cool.
I'm curious to see where they go with that.
Yeah. Plus, I found you an Omega Pop this week.
Yes.
So
which I'm excited about.
Target exclusive. So, yeah. So I'm with you. I'm a 3. Actually, no. I'm sorry. I'm a 3.5. I'm giving it a bump up just because I thought the action was really good, and I felt like they just handled it all really well, and it made me want more. This is the first time I wanted more of any particular story, including Rex 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and this is actually the first episode in probably 2, maybe 3 weeks that I've actually watched reactions to.
Oh,
so
wow.
That'll tell you something.
Yeah, that does tell me something. Yeah, I don't know where they're going with this. We're more than halfway through. Again, just like Loki, right? We're more than halfway through, and there's no direction to this show.
Right.
I mean, there's not even the villain of the week type of thing that they've done because it's been so uneven.